excited to having some of these lymphedema mass taken off of your
I'm
leg?
excited to get it off, and
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. TLC's My 600-Pound Life quickly became a hit among the viewers, despite the fact that it premiered 8 years ago. However, we know that the road to success is a long and hard one. There are a lot of moments on the program that show how out of control many of the patients' lives are. So stay tuned, as in today's video, we'll be looking at the most off-the-wall scenes in My 600-Pound Life. By the way, it is true that not every patient manages to meet the weight loss goal set by a Dr. Now on their first try, but most patients at least realize that it's ultimately up to them to work on changing their lives. So let's roll. Angela J. The contestant from season 7, Angela J., shared that on the show, she felt as if Dr. Now wanted to punish her for missing her appointment, especially when he told her to lose more weight than initially she was asked to. She stopped seeing Dr. Now for like several months, and in those 5 months, she only lost 45 pounds, which literally pissed off Dr. Now. So Angela got offended that he wasn't pleased, and she lost some of her weight. Even she claimed that she is mistreated when Dr. Now started pointing out that she was just making excuses, as she hadn't even managed to lose the 50 pounds that she was supposed to shed within just 1 month. Angela just rudely attacked Dr. Now instead of accepting her own responsibility, and said that if she could lose that much weight on her own, she wouldn't really need him. I guess it seemed like Angela just couldn't understand that it was up to her if she really wants to change her life or not. Overall, in a whole 8 months, she only lost 9 more pounds in the next few weeks, making it just 54 pounds. But still, Angela was given the Dr. Now attitude and making faces like a child at the one person who was trying his best to help her. Tracy Matthews. A 44-year-old grandmother, Tracy Matthews, who belongs from Ohio, was the one on the show who appeared in My 600-Pound Life carried a majority of her weight in her legs. This is due to lymphedema, a condition in which your body parts become swollen and infected because of cellulitis. By the way, due to her situation, she is known one of the most complicated contestants, as her medical case was the most painful one in the history of the show. This grandma started her weight loss journey when she was weighing 605 pounds, and all the 400 pounds of her weight was actually of her legs. To carry out her daily activities while she was dealing with her obesity, to even take care of her, Tracy's husband Anthony does all the duties on his own. He's the one who lifts up her legs so she can move, or whenever she wants to get out of her bed or do any other task. When Tracy really needed to travel for 20 hours to meet Dr. Now, that was the most unfortunate scene on the show. Because while traveling, she had to sit in the back of a car in the hope to get qualified for weight loss surgery by Dr. Now. Tracy's husband Anthony is seen in the clip lifting her legs into the back of their SUV before they begin their journey to Dr. Now's place. After meeting with Dr. Now, Tracy literally displayed some remarkable determination after some time, as her lymphedema had become controllable and her relationship with her husband had taken a turn for the better after losing the weight and after going through surgery. James King. James King was the most unsuccessful in his bid to lose weight, despite all his seemingly desperate and yearning attempts to get Dr. Now to seek his guidance and help so he could help save his life. Well, sadly, it's so obvious that all of that was not only because of his own actions and non-seriousness towards his health, but his condition started failing because of the actions of his enablers, which includes his daughter and wife Lisa on the top.
You got 2 choices. Get to Texas and hopefully you get help, or lay here and die.
Just by providing for him to eat or plating up some junk food items when he's into his tantrums for takeout, and by providing him anything or whenever he asks something to eat that is totally against his planned diet. When Dr. Now got to know about this, he confronted his enablers many times, especially his girlfriend Lisa.
I will pay hell all the rest of the day.
How the hell is going to raise the hell in the bed?
If we don't,
And even pointed out in her face that she's been enabling him the wrong food for weeks when he was literally not supposed to and had to start eating right. By the way, when the first time James went into hospital to seek Dr. Now's help, he shed weight and made amazing progress. But don't be so happy for him, as their second meetup with Dr. Now confronted both James and his girlfriend and revealed that he knew someone was sneaking fast food in because his weight isn't losing. In fact, it started increasing. Moreover, when he was supposed to be losing weight, he ignored Dr. Now's weight loss advice and ended up gaining up to 150 pounds on the show. The worst and the weirdest thing about James King's case was that neither he nor any of his family members accepted the responsibility for his situation and believed that someone else, just like Dr. Now, could do wonders for King to fix him. despite all the weight he has been gaining due to their feeding him to death. Penny Seeger. The viewers called Penny Seeger's episode the most controversial one, and even generally started calling her to be one of the most delusional patients to ever be featured on the show.
I started out just like anyone else, and every time I had a problem, it's a pound, 2 pounds.
She's one of those participants who hasn't lost any weight even a year after gastric bypass surgery, which is a total loss. When she started her weight loss journey, she weighed 570 pounds, but when her episode ended, it was revealed that she had only lost approximately 35 pounds.
Meeting certain expectations that you
Absolutely
may have.
not. Will not do that. Will not.
Because she ignored to follow Dr. Now's advice and instructions. Not just that, she even refused to follow the 1,200 calorie diet and the exercise plan given by Dr. Now. Ultimately, Dr. Now called Penny's situation out of hand and noted that she didn't want to transform her lifestyle, especially when she insisted to go back to her home, Maryland, so she could control her food addiction on her own, instead of staying in Houston. By the way, she is the one to blame for her health condition, but her husband was also the culprit, as he kept enabling her despite knowing her condition. He even never confronted her for her ridiculous demands for having junk food, and due to all these complications, Penny becomes one of the worst cases Dr. Now had ever dealt with.
Miracles in the world. That's like having piano surgery on your hand.
Maja Radanovic. When Maja Radanovic appeared on the show, she was 33 years old and was so big that she shared that every morning when she woke up, she feels thankful to God that during the night her body hadn't given out. She finally decided to meet Dr. Now to tackle her weight when she was close to being completely bedridden. Although the trip to Houston to meet Dr. Now was pretty horrific for Maja, as it turned out to be because during her journey, she had to struggle a lot to walk from plane to the bus. So for that, her boyfriend Christian had to rent a car, where things got even worse for her, because they got the wrong car instead of getting an SUV. Actually, the car was too small for Maja to fit into, so when she was supposed to get behind the wheel, it ended up with her getting stuck and falling to the floor. However, she managed to get up again and was spared the humiliation of having to call the fire department to help her out. By the way, this sort of embarrassing experience literally made her burst into tears as a result of the stress, and thought that it was also documented for everyone to see on national TV. Stephen Asante. Whenever anyone mentions the most insane contestant who appeared on My 600-Pound Life, Stephen Asante is probably the first name that comes to mind, because he's not only one of the most notorious patients of the show, but he also took things way too far. When he appeared, he didn't appear alone on the show, as alongside, his brother Justin also got featured, as he also needed weight loss surgery. At 730 pounds, Stephen soon became the center of attention. By the way, he was not only morbidly obese, because when he first met with Dr. Now, he was also battling painkiller addiction. Not just that, even he was constantly trying to manipulate doctors so he could get his pain medication. All hospitals in the area had been notified that he was abusing this system, as his manipulation games have gone on for so long. To get any pain medication would land him in jail if he ever attempted to try to manipulate any medical center. To get Stephen on the right track, his own rebellious attitude made things quite hard for him. His non-seriousness made Dr. Now so frustrated that he got so tired of it he was ready to give up on Stephen. After getting caught trying to get opioids, Stephen eventually suffered a huge setback and was kicked out of the weight loss program. In fact, Dr. Now made him join rehab for treatment there. Stephen ended up gaining weight again and blowing up to over 750 pounds. It wasn't until after the show that he finally made some progress and doctors agreed to perform the surgery. LaShonta White. LaShonta got featured in Season 7 on My 600-Pound Life and met with Dr. Now in Houston for the first time. While weighing 662 pounds, LaShonta had been bedridden for 2.5 years due to her weight. The mother of 4 kept promising throughout her appointment she'd never disappoint Dr. Now, and she would stick to the diet plan. But in the end, she didn't keep her own promise and started making a lot of lame excuses. While LaShonta looked quite out of shape after coming back 6 months, and due to that, her health issues got worse. Therefore, Dr. Now finally decided to keep her in the hospital for a month, but when things didn't seem to change, he discharged LaShonta after assigning her a weight loss goal of 100 pounds. But she had only lost 3 pounds, so the doctor now asked her to quit her program, and even told her that she could start again after losing 50 pounds on her own. When she came back to Dr. Now, eventually after that strict warning, she finally managed to shed the weight and he happily welcomed her back to the program.
You done with that?
Food is the only joy and pleasure I have now.
That's all, guys, for today, with most off-the-wall scenes on my 600-pound life. Thanks for watching the video.